Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, here with Edgar football coach Jerry Sinz, presented today by North Central Technical College. I know kids from Edgar and all over Marathon County over the years have got great quality education from NTC, and you can too. Find the program listings and classes available now at ntc.edu. Coach, beginning your 51st year in Edgar, you and I have talked about this. You've told the stories about in year one knocking on the doors up and down the streets in Edgar. We don't need to rehash that, but maybe just 51 years, just reflect on that as a whole half century now in the rearview mirror and being the head ball coach at Edgar.
It hasn't changed that much. We probably could do a little knocking on doors again this year because our numbers seem to kind of continually go down a little bit each season, particularly with big guys. Some of it's grade problems, and some of it I don't know what it is, but we have about, I think, 38 or 39 guys in varsity this year. And at one time, maybe 25 years ago, we might have had 65. So, the numbers have gone down. The skill players are pretty much always still there.
I do plan on talking about your football team. First, though, Penny, for your thoughts on high school football in rural Wisconsin. You entered a new conference last year because of the shifting landscape around football. The last number of years, and I think it's for the good, by the way. I should say that out loud. I think it's for the good. But teams, schools coming to the realization that we really can't field a competitive team with 30 guys on the roster or even 20. So 8-player is our best format. The 8-player format continues to increase in size, popularity, skill. There are guys in the NFL that have played 8-player football in high school. But your conference, and it continues to change. Just what do you think the outlook is in high school football in rural Wisconsin going forward?
Well, I hope, my hope would be that more teams, would get back to playing 11 if they could, because I think it's a great sport and a great learning, platform for kids. I understand the situation because we face it here too. I have a son who lives in California where their high school is 3,500 kids, and he tells me they have trouble getting offensive and defensive linemen out for their team. So it's pretty reasonable it would happen for us. As far as the conferences go, we don't really care that much what conference we're in. We just want to know who we're playing. We actually kind of enjoy playing new teams or different teams.
And then the other thing that has changed in Wisconsin that I suppose some will say we're catching up to the rest of the country is what we call performance factor, which after a state championship last year, because of enrollment, you would ordinarily be in Division 7, but because of recent success, now in Division 6. Just tell us your opinion on performance factor.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. We've played in so many different divisions over the years. I'm sure I've told you before, we have one state title in Division 4. We have 2 or 3 in Division 5. We have, a couple, 2, 3 in Division 6. And then, of course, the last couple of years we've been in 7. Now we're going back to 6. We played in 6 in 2008, 9, and 10. So some of the same teams that are in there now would be in our division again this year. It'll be a little tougher, I suppose, just because the rosters will be a little bigger. But once again, we'll see some new teams this year, and that's always kind of fun and kind of exciting to see some new teams.
Tell us about this year's team in senior leadership. I won't call on you to list all the names unless you want to do that, but maybe more so, just tell us about what you expect out of a senior group any year, and in particular this year.
Well, we have about 5 or 6 players, maybe even 7. It started last year either on offense or defense. We lost 2 key skill players in Leighton Shue at a wide receiver DB and Will Hackle, a running back linebacker. We lost 4 big linemen. 265-pound guy, a 250-pound guy, a 235-pound guy, a 220-pound guy, and we don't have many of those guys available this year. But Tucker Stride, Maverick Butt, Gavin Maurer, our three skill guys who played a lot last year, starting quarterback, running back, receiver, things like this. Alex Schneider is back as a starting lineman. Also, Lucas Stanke is back as a starting tight end, defensive end. So we have quite a number of skill players, back as starters. Certainly, they got a lot of great experience last year. We have some other guys, of course, moving up to some other seniors that are said. We have 9 seniors this year, which I guess isn't too bad. We can have 10 in every grade. That's not bad. 30 upperclassmen, 40 in high school, but we've had good leadership thus far in practice. Kids are pretty fired up. They're pretty well versed in football. A lot of these guys, some of them are coaches' kids and things, which that always helps because they hear a lot about it at home too.
You mentioned the big guys and maybe looking for more and maybe change their diet plans. The kids are in middle school now. Maybe that could help. But team speed is something that you haven't had any trouble with, especially in recent history. Even the track team has been a beneficiary of that with state qualifiers and state champions. How do you plan to use your team speed in 2025?
Yeah, we've run more spread stuff now in recent years. Of course, we're in 7-on-7 during the summer, and in that 7-on-7 league, we play Wausau West and Spash, and teams like this. So we're accustomed to playing it. I believe in our all-star competition this year of the 38 or 39 guys in high school, I think 20 or 21 of them ran the 40 in like 4.95 or faster. We got a lot of guys around 4.5, 4.6. So we're going to try to use them all and spread teams out. And of course, if we get them spread out, well, then maybe we can run up the middle a little bit too.
Talking to Edgar football coach Jerry Sinz, entering his 51st year in Edgar football. Scrimmage last week. How did that go? Give us a recap on your scrimmage performance.
I thought we started a little nervous against Regis. Of course, their eyes fired up, know to play us with our playoff history with them. And I thought we settled down a little more against Medford in the second one, and maybe even a little further against Menominee in the third one. And we tried to play pretty much everybody that we thought might play this Friday. Once again, the guys that are returners from a year ago, some of them are 2-year starters. Guys like Tucker and Maverick started as sophomores on our state team in 2023. So the guys with experience, yeah, they played pretty solid the whole day and didn't make many mistakes. A few of the younger guys, yeah, were maybe making a nervous mistake here or there. But now that it's over, we got out of it relatively healthy. We had a little scare with Tucker against Menominee, but he came out of it okay. I think he's going to be ready to go. So, yeah, we're happy those teams agreed to scrimmage us because we realize that, no, we're not going to play anybody better than those teams, during the season. So if we can survive that, we're probably okay.
You start this year similar to last year, and that's Ladysmith. You were at Ladysmith last year. I'll tell you, you kind of had your way with them during the game. Now Ladysmith, a little bigger school than you, comes to your place. What do you and the guys need to get after right away in the first quarter on Friday night against Ladysmith?
Well, we know they got a few really skilled kids. They got a wide receiver, defensive back who won the state high jump last year. I think it's 6'9". He also won the state long jump at like 23 and a half feet. So, and he's a good sized kid too. So obviously we're going to have to keep our eyes on him. They have a good sized fullback that weighs about 205, 210 that played last year also. So we know he's a very good player for him. So they have a few guys that we know that are highly skilled guys. You never know a lot going into the first game because you don't really have any good video on them. Yeah, we've watched our video from last year, but their quarterback graduated, several of their linemen graduated. So we know they're going to have new guys this year. So it's always a little bit like a scrimmage going into the first game. After that, you start getting better information.
Lastly, Coach, I just want to talk about home crowd and crowd participation and supporting your football team again this year. In your conference, and we're relatively talking about some smaller schools in the state compared to other areas, there are times between you, Auburndale, Abbotsford, maybe others in your conference as well, that the in-person attendance is nearly the same as a Division I football game somewhere else in the state. So kind of two questions. Why is that? And then why is it important for these folks to come out and cheer you on in the stands?
Yeah, we're really appreciative of that. It was interesting. I talked to a former player, I think yesterday maybe, and he came by the field maybe 11 o'clock on Friday morning last week. He said, I couldn't believe all the cars in the parking lot. So I come down by the stadium. He'd forgot that we were having a scrimmage here. And he goes, there were more people at that scrimmage than wherever at any of our games when I played back in the 80s. And I said, well, we did have 4 teams there. So I said, that makes a little difference. And of course, Menominee brought 80, 90 players. So obviously that's going to be a lot of fans. But our fans have been great. They've been very supportive with all kinds of things. We had our golf outing last Saturday and we had 100 golfers. And so we really appreciate that. And they do all kinds of things for us. And we couldn't be more thankful for what they do.
Well, no doubt Edgar and Ladysmith fans alike will pack Edgar Stadium on Friday night, kickoff at 7. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you very much, Casey.